Hi there, it's Stones. I'm finally doing my February review. I've been quite relaxed. I'm having some weeks off. I'm taking 2 weeks off trading, maybe a bit more. We'll see. I'm not really happy about February at all. The win rate was terrible. I've done a lot of mistakes. I got out of trades that were good because I was overwhelmed by emotions. I tried as well to get more involved into the market because I'm back to work now. I'm working 1 week on, 1 week off. On my week off, I've got plenty of time to trade and I can be patient. But on my week on, I can only trade the London session and maybe like the higher time frame on my phone on the 1 hour if I'm available at work. So I think I've tried to implement new setups to give me more opportunities. Because usually the way I trade during a whole week on every session, I'll probably get 1 to 3 good setups, I would say. That's counting every day, every session, Asia, London, US. So that was when I was working full time and I could trade all of those if I wanted to, if I wake up during the night for US, which I do not advise. It's wrecking and it's just way too much. One person just cannot trade every day, every session. You're gonna get wrecked and it's just not good mentally. It's way better to allow some definite times about when you trade and when you don't trade and when you rest. But since I'm back to work and I can only trade one session, I was trying to implement new setups and yeah, I was trying to get myself more probabilities to get more setups and I'm just improving in my trading as well and seeing other things that are working as well. And that can allow me to, for example, I dropped to the 2 minutes and watching those breaker blocks in line with the model I already trade. Trying to get more trades because if I only rely on the previous setups I was trading while only doing London for a whole week, I might get one setup or maybe none for the whole week, which is still good because I always wanted to aim at taking one good trade a week. It's all you need sometimes. If I get a 3 hour trade, it's a win. You're not always going to get win, but if you're patient enough to wait for that 3 hour win per week, it's amazing. Like who does 3% a week every week? That's not many people. I don't think like anyone does it. So yeah, probably overtraded on that side for sure. The second thing I did wrong is I think I overworked myself. I got very excited at the start of the year with having a new job after being full-time trading, uh, having a new evaluation account on my prop firm, and I was already doing the journaling in Discord for a group of friends, and now doing the YouTube as well on top. So every end of week doing a weekly review and the end of the month and maybe pop a video in between about something else about my trading. So all this combined, I think, took a lot of my energy and my mental energy too. When I do work 11 hours per day and then I go home and I try to trade the London session or allowed 2 to 3 hours. I think 3 hours was too much. I want to step back to 2 hours and just go to bed earlier. The main idea at the start was I'm working a week and then I'm trading a week. And what I've been doing is trying to still trade on my working week, which I think I need to step back a little bit on this and prioritize my health and having a good night's sleep. There was definitely emotions involved as well that got in the way, especially of the feeling of missing trades and market playing out when I wasn't looking at it. There's one day that actually had the perfect setup when I was at the chart and I did not execute on this perfect setup that usually happens in US, and I complained about this one like missing it, and then this one was in front of my face and I froze and I did not take the trade. So I follow a couple traders that I have high regards for and that I think are sharing valuable information. And it's just good that see traders that have been in the game for 10 or 12 years and still having those struggle months and sharing the losses. And it helped me in that period of my time where I know I can do better trading than what I've been doing over the last 4 months. I can definitely do better than that. I've done better than that the last year. And I need to get out of this phase. But yeah, some traders like Vincent Desiano that had I think a rough February where he gave back most of his profits and shared the whole thing. Carl Williams that had 3 consecutive losing months, November, December, and January. And he said it was the first time this happened in his 12 years career. So it helps to see this from professional traders when I'm only in my third year and I've put so much pressure on myself and what I need to achieve, and just seeing those losing months. I had one winning trade in January and one winning trade in February, which is disgusting. But like it can happen, and then it's sort of, it's part of the game, and seeing the big guys having those same issues is very comforting. And yeah, I'm only 3 years into my journey, so I'm not putting that much of pressure on myself, even though I want to perform way better. So let's go back into a little bit of the data of the month. It's not pretty at all, but we'll just go through it. So this is my data on TradeZilla for the month of February. It's actually 5.5% win rate. Overtraded, definitely. I've got 20 trades in, which is still a good amount of trades for the whole month, but I'll be way more comfortable with 10 to 15 trades a month. Because if I take 2 or 3 good trades a week, then that gives me my 10 to 15 trades a month, and that's exactly what I need. 20 is definitely on the high side. You can see here, first week there was a lot of trades for a break even to end up just taking a win at the end. So wasted money here at the start of the week and ended up break even basically. Second and third week were okay, and then the last week it definitely overtraded. This Tuesday here was at work with 2 trades that I took back to back, 2 losses when I only had 3 more shots on my evaluation account. So this was really stupid. And what it did actually is I wasted all these shots on average trades. There is actually one on Wednesday or Thursday that's the one I said I missed when it's a setup I really like. It's not that I missed it, I froze on it. The setup was ideal and I froze on it. So wasted shots here, froze on a good trade, did some silly ones that were not going anywhere at the end of the week. Then I lost my evaluation, or I finished like at 0 on it. So that's $3,000 in February and $3,000 in January as well. Gives me the $6,000 maximum drawdown on my 100K account on Breakout. If I go on my Breakout account, this is actually even on public, so you can see everything. I want to be like very transparent on everything, proofs of everything that I do and all the trades I take. That's my mantra, and that's really the goal of this channel. I'm not here to lie about anything. These are all the accounts I took in my whole journey in prop firms. I only used Breakout. This is the only one I used. That's the last evaluation that I breached. Overall, I'm break even on all these evaluations, and on the funded ones, the payouts I took. So the next evaluation that I will pay for, this one will be out of pocket. I'm really glad I still trade prop firms, because if I were to trade my own money and spending the last 4 months being negative, this would have been a way bigger impact on my mindset, because I know it did in the past when I was trading with my own money. Whereas now, I just risked the evaluations. I actually took 0.5% risk on all of my trades, so that 6% drawdown was actually 12%. Like, it gave me 12 losing trades. So this was really good, and I was just able to practice my trading in a safe environment. And I don't really care about making the money now. All I want is be good on my all result at the end of the week and my win rate, and just on the data, and the money will follow eventually. So yeah, we'll get this new evaluation and try to start fresh. It's a good thing as well with prop firms. You can reset and have a new account, because instead of climbing out of this hole, you just pay for another account. But those fees are not dramatic compared to if you were using your own money in the end still, and your payouts are still going to be bigger than what you pay for your evaluation if you get to that stage. Another funny thing I want to touch on is this was my whole month of February, so it's pretty average behavior here. This was just straight down. Not saying there wasn't like trades to take in this whole chop. It was definitely. That's why I trade the 5 minute especially, and maybe even down to the 2 minute now that I've been forward testing. But all this to say that on that last week of February, I wasted my last 3 shots when market wasn't ideal, and I could have just, patience was the key here and is the main lesson. I could have just been patient the whole time, because this here is one of my favorite 4 hour setup that I've talked about already in the January review, and you can go there and have a look at it, because this is the pattern I like, and that keep happening again and again. Here it happened over 2 months, so it wasn't exactly the way I see it, but this was the one here in November, and it did happen last bear cycle, and it did happen on the tariff drops as well, where you have this big flush and you have about 3 weeks consolidation. You take those highs, and the liquidity usually creates an M above the 200 EMA 4 hour, or just under, and retests it. And this is exactly what happened here. And if I were patient, those 3 risk units I still have on my evaluation account, I could have taken them here, because when price was here, I said to my friends, I said, I'd be looking for an M formation, and that'll be a long-term short. And yeah, I could have just made money easy on this higher time frame trade without stressing too much. The only thing that happened is, like I just drawn here, you usually get a drop and then a retest of the 50 EMA, like a round top like this, and a drop, and this low here is your target. The thing is, that's the proof that the market does what it wants, and it doesn't have to repeat in the exact same pattern. And if you would have been to open a trade here, like if I would have opened that trade if I wasn't taking a break and I still have an account. Well, when you look at it here, price did not do this, and at some point went back to your entry. So how do you play out this trade? Do you let it play out this whole way? Do you take profits here at some point and only to re-enter later? If you had this round top, you could have, okay, I'll just, now that I've got confirmation we're getting lower, enter a second trade here. And this is 100% my mojo, or mantra, whatever they say in English. Because take profits when you can and how you can, because nothing in the market is a given and is going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. It can do this, and it can straight away reverse and go up the whole way. Like, this is probabilities. No one definitely knows. But so far from now, this could definitely be a re-entry. I think we still, I think this pattern is still in play. It doesn't always play the exact same way. There is times where we just spiked up and dropped, and there's actually times like today where we have a first spike and a second spike to the 200 EMA, like price still go back up there, but we still do end up to take this low. So I think this trade here is definitely one I would have taken if I wasn't taking that rest. I think I'll be back trading mid next week, maybe the one after. So here is all the data. Taking 2 weeks off. I'm actually 1 week and a half into my break, which is really good. Like, I really enjoy it. I completely disconnected from the charts. I still have a look on my phone because I'm addicted to the market, sort of, but I do not sit on my laptop looking at the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and trying and mark my level and everything. I just look at the chart on my phone, and it's been really great. I've already done in December around Christmas, New Year's Eve, because it's a bad period to trade. I've done a week and a half break, I think, but it didn't feel like I feel now, because I was transitioning to back to work as well at the time. So I think it was a lot going on. Now work is fine. It's doing well. So this is something that I don't have to worry anymore. Having my break just gives me heaps of free time, and I realize how much time I spend every day, every week on the trading side, like trading the charts or doing the journaling, reviewing my trades, backtesting, recording a little review of my week, explaining my trades to people. So yeah, very valuable break. I really needed it. I think into this global environment as well, it's good to step back. Can be unpredictable. I can see the market has been a bit unhealthy. So at times you can see it on the charts. The candles like got big wicks up and down. There's a lot of movement. Not saying that you can't trade it. There's definitely still trades to take in there, but I would say you'd have to be more conservative on your target. Definitely maybe drop back to 1 or 2 targets and then just chip those away as you go. Make sure you take some profits because yeah, everything is unpredictable and news can come out at any time and charts will rip the other way. Good thing about this break, it gave me the opportunity to restructure my days and my week actually. So there's a lot of things I've already started doing, which are great. Going back to only trading 2 hours of the London session during my work days and go to bed earlier on those days. And if I don't trade, I don't trade. It's okay. Going back to not trading off my phone on the 1 hour or at work. This is too much mental stress and going on while at work, even if I have time. It's funny because there is a lot of things in my trading that I had rules to protect me from making mistakes and from being too tired, for example. And then I deviated from those rules, trying to improve or make it a little bit better. And then I always ended up like stepping back. For example, I was trading only Bitcoin at first, then I added Ethereum, then I added altcoins, and then I realized this is just too much. So I removed altcoins and now I just do Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I look at them together on one screen when before I had two screens. So this is good. I had this rule as well for the timing of my trading, which was only the first 2 hours or the first 3 hours of a session. And I realized, like, for example, from the third hour of London, there is a lot of things that can happen and trades happen over there. So at times on my week off, for example, I would trade a bit longer into the session, and so I got more slack with those rules. But I think now on my work days, I definitely need to stick to the first 2 hours, the first 3 hours out for the session. And if something happens outside of my time available, it is what it is. And I think as well, I'm going to reschedule the way I share my trades on Discord on my work week. So maybe be more slack on this and only do it on my time off. And my weekly reviews, which I usually do on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. If it's a Sunday or Saturday that I work, I'm just going to do that review only on Wednesday or Thursday once I'm off. So all this to have way more rest and yeah, just be more relaxed about everything I undertake. I'll let you know as soon as I'm back trading and I buy a new evaluation. I'll share everything and back to my weekly reviews. I hope this helps anyone watching and makes them feel a bit less lonely in their journey. We're all in it together. It's hard, it's long, and we try to do our best. Thanks for watching and see you in a couple days or weeks.